shoots clean across the sky over my head. I keep thinking about the last thing that you said. And I wonder if you see this sky wherever you are you sleeping now? Do I cross your mind? Are you sleeping?
There is an amazing comfort and familiarity to making music with Joe. I mean, that is, I suppose it would be kind of self-evident. It's just like we've been doing this together for so long that we kind of fall into lockstep without even trying. Tonight was really interesting. I guess I didn't realize when we were sort of planning this is like this was a teaser for our symphony debut, is to sort of just get some excitement rolling and show people what we're working on. But it wound up being, I think, more of a teaser for us, just to see what this experience was going to be like, to run the charts before we played the show with the string section, and to realize like, oh, there's this whole other thing going on that we're suddenly aware of and we're hearing, and it's so exciting. It's also so distracting because it's so beautiful and so interesting, and there's new melodies, and to hear them originally when we received the scores and we get MIDI tracks of like a fake symphony playing down the charts of this digital thing, and to hear it in real life is just it takes on this whole other depth. It's just so wild, so wacky.
No, I do you miss me? Whiskey, it's not your fault. Blame it on your dad. You can feel all.
I think we originally started talking about doing a show sometime last year, and it didn't really come together. I think the timing was off, but you know, we're very fortunate. We have a really great team of people that are working with us. So our manager and our agent, and just folks who have vision much bigger than ours. You know, like because we're just like, oh, we wrote these songs, play some shows with these songs, but you know, then our manager's the one going like, what if we play these songs on a boat? What if we play these songs with a symphony? What if, you know, and it's like, oh, that's a cool idea. Yeah, let's do that.
Do you miss me? Whiskey, like I miss you. You know I do.
There's an emotional element to the delivery of the lyric that I think is one place where you can sort of engage with the music. So trying to create textures and soundscapes that enhance the feeling of what's happening. Is it really sad? Is it really exciting? Is it really happy? Is it funny? Is it lighthearted? Is it dark? You know, these are all textures and colors that Chris, the arranger, can go in and use this toolbox, which is 67 musicians, to try and enhance. So that's one way that I would hope that the symphony ticks in. And then the other is the actual music. So the chords, the harmony, the melodies, the rhythms, and that's on another level. Chris is engaging that stuff. He's writing counterpoint so that the melodies interact in really beautiful ways, and rhythmically he's accenting certain things, and then countering that with other rhythms that sort of push and pull and create a sense of tension and release. So, that's pretty textbook. That's how arrangers work with music, and I hope that that's something that they get excited about when they hear our music. I mean, I can only hope.
You swear it's not that bad. You lost everything and everyone, yeah. How far can it go when the fridge is empty and the bills pile up? Ain't nothing left for giving up. Pick your heart up and leave this town. There's a million bad reasons to just stick around. Join the chorus of the lost and the found. All together now.
guess there was a part of me that's, you know, not having played with them before, you know, I'm so used to being in an ensemble of musicians that, you know, they know my tendencies. They know, like, Joey he does have a tendency to kind of forget words sometimes. So if he doesn't start right away, we'll sit and vamp for a bit. And, you know, these guys don't know me, but they are so professional and so unbelievably trained. So it's just like the second something like that happens, you realize that they've got your back. You know, like they're not just gonna, well, too bad, you know. And I mean, I forget lyrics all the time, so that's one of my worst fears for this show is that I just like get there and like, you know.
This town, there's a million bad reasons to just stick around. Join the chorus of the lost and the found. All together now, salvation bound.
The first thing for me is always that I help create some real memories that 20 years from now, people are like, oh my God, that evening was just magical. That they connect with something that is otherworldly and just gets them out of this year and just, oh, there's something else. And music does that. So if we accomplish that, that's the main thing. That's awesome.
Join the chorus of the lost and the found. All together now, salvation bound.
Typically, when we're getting up on stage and performing a show, we've got hundreds and hundreds of performances under our belt where we've played these songs, we've dialed them in, we understand the subtleties, the nuances, we know where the hard parts are, we know where we got to sort of fight to get the performance to a certain level, we know where it's easy and we can sort of lay back and just be like, okay, this is easy, you know? Like we know the stuff so well. This is such a whole new dynamic. And we found out, Joey and I found out tonight, it was just like, there's so much more going on stage that we're thinking about, that we're aware of, that's challenging the way we hear stuff, that's, and challenging the way we hear our own music. Because we write these songs, we play them a million times, and it becomes really intuitive. You just feel them out. They just sort of happen. We're not playing our music and counting bars, that kind of thing. Whereas with this, suddenly you're hearing it in this new context. It makes you really aware of where all the interesting rhythms are, where the chord changes are, where the key changes, the melodies go, and the harmonies. Like, yeah, no, I think that was a big realization for me tonight, was that this was more for us than it was for everybody else. Like, just for us to hear this stuff.
No matter the weather, you know we're better together. Cold, without a warning, lean on me when your feet are dragging, and when we're on the lines.
In terms of musically speaking, the symphony just adds so much depth to the music, you know, and like all the things that we try to accomplish in a smaller band, you know, a 4-piece band, and you try to do things musically in order to make the music, you know, ebb and flow, and then all of a sudden add all these elements. It just takes the whole storytelling thing to a completely other level, and you know, so much of that is left up to the arranger, and our arranger Chris Byman is an absolute wizard. But you know, like if he didn't have vision for the music, or you know, it could get boring really quickly, you know, if somebody's not being imaginative. And we just sort of said to Chris, like, go nuts, have fun with these arrangements, create music that you yourself want to hear with ours going on at the same time, you know?
We can manage the weather. Woo. If we do it together. That's some shredding violin, I tell you. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for coming down. Really appreciate it.